Allow me to welcome you to the Central Office of Information under the Ministry of Events that have been making rounds in the past week or so, mainly regarding the issue of cement distribution in the country. He decided that we should host this press conference so that we appraise Malawians, those watching us from home, others are watching us online and listening to us while they are driving to various places, and even the audience that is in this hall tonight. I would want to believe that an opening prayer has been said. If it hasn't, may you all be blessed. But without much ado, I will throw the mic to the Honorable Minister of Trade. Honorable Minister, before you take the floor, timafuna tinene kuti nkhani ya cement, kuvuta kwa cement, kapena kukwera mitengo mopanda dongosolo yatenga nthenje kwambiri masabata awiri amenewa. Tamva President Lazarus Chakwera akuyankhulapo pa nkhani iyi, koma poyankhulapo paja anakutchulani pa maforum angapo na amanena kuti inuyo ntchito imeneyi ikhala ntchito imodzi imene akuyembekezera kuti muthandizane nawo. Tinakumvaniso inuyo mukupereka a warning shot kwa iwo amene akusunga dala cement, munena munayimbitsa pena nyimbo ya Peter Tosh umalinazo kuti kukhala maliyani ndikukhulupirira kuti kwa ena it could be taken as the timing of this problem ikhoza kukhala mayesero akulu kwambiri kwa inuyo komanso tosefe. Ndikupempheni kuti mukhonza kupereka statement yanu. Pakumaliza pazo says at the end of the statement by the Honorable Minister, the floor will be opened for questions pertaining to this issue. But allow me also to say as government chief spokesperson that we have stayed for quite some time without interacting with the media. So there could be other issues, not specifically attached to the issue of cement. We will give you the liberty to ask or other questions. Those that we don't have responses to, will tell you honorably that we're not going to respond to those, but the floor will be open for general questions after we have exhausted questions pertaining to the issue that we are here to discuss tonight. Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Honorable Minister of Information, Honorable Zikuchitika, Honorable Deputy Minister of Transport, Honorable Steve Baba Malondela, Secretary for Trade and Industry, Madam Christina Zakeyo, Secretary for Information and Digitalization, Mr. Baldwin Chiamaka, all senior government officials present here, CEO of Competition and Fair Trading Commission, Mr. Lloyd Vincent Coma, esteemed members of the press, officials from Malawi Congress Party present in this room, fellow citizens, good evening. Zina, before we go to the main issue of cement, if you might allow me, to affirm his commitment towards the welfare of our farmers, President Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera directed my ministry to look at removing some of the bottlenecks that farmers face when selling their products, their produce to other countries. We looked at many non-trade barriers, and the major one was mutual standards recognition. Mutual standards recognition. This is whereby, despite being certified by Malawi Bureau of Standards, our products are subjected to the same certification process elsewhere. Let's say mulindi soya beans, kandi ntedza, kandi peanut butter, kunoko mwapanga certified MBS. Mukatuza ku Zambia, kandi ku Zimbabwe, ka Tanzania, kandi ku Mozambique, kandi ku Dubai. They wanted to go through the same certification process. And that becomes an untrade barrier, NTB. So one of the directives that Chakwera gave us, can you please work on these, some of the NTBs? And we embarked on this journey with various countries, including some in the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Malawi Bureau of Standards and my ministry have worked hard and will continue to do so in as far as removing this major NTB is concerned. Tonight, I would like to advise Malawians that the Chakwera-led government and the government of the Republic of Zambia took a significant step towards enhancing regional trade and cooperation by signing the Mutual Recognition Agreement on Conformity Assessment under the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA framework. On 11th August 2025, I signed the agreement on behalf of my government. Signing the agreement on behalf of government of Zambia was the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Ruben Mtolo Piri. This was done in Lusaka, and the signing ceremony was witnessed by my counterpart, Honorable Chipoka Mulenga, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry. This agreement underscores the commitment of both governments to facilitate trade through mutual recognition of a conformity assessment process, promising new opportunities for farmers, traders, and consumers, thereby fostering economic growth across borders. Commodities covered under the Malawi-Zambia MRA includes maize, groundnuts, beans, rice, soybean, and sorghum. This means ngati chintu kunoko achipanga certify IMBS these 6 products for a start. When taking them to Zambia, you don't need to go through the same certification process. The Zambian Bureau of Standards will accept what MBS has certified. Similarly, ku Zambia nakoso, whatever is certified by the Bureau of Standards, kunoso nafeso will accept the same certification process. This is a big milestone as far as trade is concerned. Soon, we'll be signing an agreement with Zimbabwe, and this will continue until such a time when all the processes at Malawi Bureau of Standards are certified by the International Standards Organization. Remember, if all our processes at MBS were certified by ISO, it means we can send our products anywhere without being subjected to certification process in those countries. At the moment, we are not yet fully certified by ISO. Only some of the processes are certified by ISO at MBS. And MBS is working hard together with our ministry to make sure that every process at MBS is certified by the International Standards Organization. Without that, at the moment, other countries, Samarura Katundu, open the ISO certification. The only way out is to agree with those particular countries to have MRA, Mutual Recognition Assessment, whereby they can accept what MBS has certified. MBS has made a lot of progress such that some of their processes have already been certified by ISO. It is a bit costly to get everything done by ISO, but the Chakwera government has prioritized that. The process at MBS should be certified by ISO. To our bilateral partners, to our donors, and all those that work with us and finance some of our projects, your assistance in financing the process of getting the remaining processes at MBS certified by ISO will go a long way, not only in uplifting lives of our traders and farmers, but also proving your commitment to a better Malawi and a better Africa. Another second item for tonight. We signed a protocol with the Republic of China. This is a big milestone for our country. Many countries are yet to get there, but Malawi has been one of the few countries that has achieved this milestone. In order to create more markets for commodities produced in the country, on June 12, 2025, Malawi and the People's Republic of China signed a protocol on the export of macadamia nuts to China. This landmark protocol will allow all macadamia nuts from Africa to enter Chinese market under the conditions and regulations laid down by the General Administration of Customs of the People's Republic of China. Currently, our macadamia nuts, just like other agricultural products, go into China through other countries who end up benefiting more than our farmers do. I was told by officials from China and other organizations when I was in China in June that some of macadamia nuts were going into China via Vietnam, because Vietnam had kind of agreement in China. So some will get our products from here, soybeans, groundnuts, macadamia nuts, export them through Kenya, Tanzania, and other countries, Burundi, and then they take them into Vietnam and they add value there. Whatever they do, they package them properly because they've got agreements with Chinese government. They send them as Vietnamese macadamia nuts or Vietnamese soybeans or groundnuts, not as Malawian products. So this signing for this agreement, this protocol with China on macadamia nuts is a big milestone for macadamia farmers, because they have been complaining and crying because those that take them to China directly make more profits from the Malawian macadamia nuts than the local farmers who get exchanged by middlemen who sell to other countries. So this is a major milestone, and we are doing more. We're trying to work out another produce like soya beans, groundnuts, whatever we produce. We can have protocols with various countries, but this is a major milestone. The signing of this agreement with the Chinese government is a milestone that underscores President Chakwera's agenda of empowering Malawian farmers and traders who I strongly believe are listening to me right now. To farmers and traders, if you want to achieve real economic growth, vote for Chakwera on 16 September 2025. Because he has your offer and is proving it by removing some NTBs, non-trade barriers that have been affecting your produce and your business. For more information on this, please contact Malawi Investment and Trade Center. They will be able to assist you. But all macadamia farmers are aware of this, and all that are trained in academia, they are aware and they have appreciated this, and some have already started working on how they can directly export to China. Now to the hot issue of cement. About 4.5 months ago, when the government of Malawi, through my ministry, made a decision to prohibit the importation of goods that we could produce locally, every patriotic Malawian and those in the productive sectors, except, and I mark this, except the Transporters Association of Malawi, applauded us. TAM, the so-called Transporters Association of Malawi, believed a lie from elsewhere that we banned the importation of bananas. And because some of the members transport bananas from Tanzania to Malawi, they went berserk, attacking me personally and attacking my ministry through a number of press statements. Per week, we never responded, because we don't respond to people that make baseless claims. Otherwise, it won't be a government of responding to anything. One wonders as to what their motive was, but that is how sometimes Malawians behave. You're trying to move northwards of things, they'll pull you southwards. You're trying to move eastwards, they'll pull you westwards. And the ban is still in force. And I would like to inform Malawians that most of the farmers have found their products on our supermarkets, and that should make everyone proud. Farmers of Kachowere and in Chisi, some of them came to our office to thank us that now they can sell their products in supermarkets in Sana, in Chipiko, and in ShopRite. Tomatoes, onions, bananas produced by Malawians for the first time have found their market. They have found themselves on the shelves in our Malawian supermarkets, which should make us all proud. And as long as this prohibition order is in place, it is the desire of President Chakwera to see Malawians improve in terms of quality and standards of their products while selling at affordable prices. That is very key. We cannot, and I repeat, we cannot be protecting Malawian traders and farmers at the expense of the consumer. Improve in terms of quality and standards of the products while selling at affordable prices. As a ministry, we promote the Buy Malawi, Build Malawi strategy for the betterment of Malawians and every one of us. Unfortunately, some scrupulous traders and manufacturers tend to abuse that by trying to make huge profits because of greed. That's why we're here tonight. This evening, I stand before you to address a matter of great concern that continues to impact the daily lives of Malawians, especially in the construction sector, that is, the persistent increase in the prices of cement. The cement industry has been and continues to be protected as a strategic sector that contributes significantly to the development of this country. Most of you are aware that the prices of cement have skyrocketed over the recent past from 26,000 kwacha per bag 3 months ago to about 50,000 per bag right now, making the product unaffordable to many buyers. Maka Mashado MPs in the Afa Kwambiri, and they're the ones who are crying the most because they're trying to do some work in the constituency. They're Afa Kwambiri, the cement than Maka construction industry. Mashado, Ababa, Mumba, Kumkuyu, Mashado and Zanga, Nazo. But in order to ensure that cement is readily available on the market and is affordable by many, the Chakwera government has undertaken the following measures. On 12th August, the Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry in Zambia, Honorable Mulenga MP, and I met the two major producers of cement in Zambia. The first meeting was held with Brian Chen, the CEO of Chilanga Cement Company Limited, who agreed to supply Malawi with 300 tons of Portland cement per day. That's per day. As we speak, Panopa, okay, I'll come there later on. And again, we managed to negotiate the price per ton. Tengomene, my traders in Malawi, I'm already ku Zambia factory. So the price is $114 per ton, but we agreed for $105 per ton after successful negotiations with our counterparts, which makes our even distributors are happy now that there's a $9 discount from the Zambian manufacturers. I held a similar meeting with Sinoma Company Limited, who proposed to supply cement again at the same price, $105 per ton for the 32.5 cement, while $118 per ton for the 42.5. That is $7 less than the actual selling price that side. Government has also removed the 10% surcharge on imported cement. This surcharge was put in place because local producers, manufacturers, and distributors complained kuti cement yoka ku Zambia aku cheaper than watu nde ifeyo buy mana strategies ukanika because watu ndo odula nde mambuyo omo panaikida 10% surcharge kuti katula oko yakhala no odula pang'ono to give room to protect our producers and our traders and our distributors. So this was initially imposed to shield cement producing Malawi from international competition, but the abuse of this goodwill is just unacceptable. You come to us, you complain, Kuti tupangani protect, we're like, fine, we'll protect you. We protect you, then you come back and hit us. That's totally unacceptable. I spoke to my colleague and comrade, Honorable Simplex Ichola Banda. MRI has written this already, and the gazette is ready. It should be gazetted any day this week, because we already have got the initial bunch of 12,000 bags of cement at Mchinji border right now. We're waiting for this to be gazetted before MRA can finally remove. But everything has been done, just an internal process, which we believe that come tomorrow or come Friday, it shall be removed, and the initial bunch of cement will be cleared at the border and start getting into the market locally. And again, there will be no guiding value on imported cement from Zambia. It was set some years ago to protect local companies. By the way, Komesa Imalesa Kunaguti katundu pakuda mukomesa tipangapo added value. So Ministry of Trade issued a 10.5% guided value on cement. Kulibe ntengo Wakwelera wa imported cement, so that our local producers should be shielded. That we have communicated, and I signed the letter this morning. We have removed the guided value from the imported cement from Zambia. In order to boost supply of cement, we will import the product from Zambia. Cement will start arriving in the country this week. As I said, 12,000 bags are already by the border, but we're waiting for this gazetting of the 10% charge. We should be ready tomorrow or Friday. Then they'll create the initial batch of cement. It is therefore my expectation that the market will soon be flooded with cement, and the prices will be reduced accordingly. As of yesterday, as I've said, we already had about 2,000 bags of cement at Achita and Mchinji, but now it's at Mchinji. So we should be getting there before the end of this week. The consignments are waiting for the gazetting of the removal of the surcharge for the cement to be cleared. Cameroon General. Apart from aiming at assisting Malawi to boost the supply of cement on the domestic market, the two meetings mentioned above and the intervention undertaken will reverse the price of the commodity that has reached 50,000 per 50 kg bag on the domestic market. It is our hope that it will go below 35,000 kwacha, where it was before this nonsense began. As a short-term measure, Port Cement Limited have committed to increase deliveries to the central region and northern region, where supply challenges have been the most prevalent. So these two normally supply the eastern and southern region. The others supply the central and northern region. But now we met them and agreed that let them push volume this side as well. Let them push volume this side so that we're able to meet. But Zifukwa, for this meeting was last week. It was last week, I think. So they're still having challenges because they're going to abrupt. Let me warn people not to abuse the Buy Malawi strategy by charging exorbitant prices and holding cement and any other commodity to create unnecessary disruptions on the market. It's just unacceptable. I also wish to, this Englishman, reiterate, R-E-I-T-E-R-A-T, reiterate, what do you pronounce it? Reiterate, thank you, Honorable Kunku, reiterate. I wish also to reiterate that enterprises engaging in holding and in excessive or exploitative pricing of cement will face the full arm of the law. Traders are reminded that the Competition and Fair Trading Act under Section 51G prohibits excessive and exploitative pricing. Errant enterprises therefore risk being sanctioned with monetary penalties of up to 10% of their annual gross turnover, not profit. That's what is in the Act. 10% of the annual gross turnover, not profit. Some businessmen have been advising us that we shouldn't have taken the aforementioned measures before consulting them. Mwapangira nje zako Zambia zi, msanitifuse ife, who are you? Iwe ndo endani. You come to Malawi, you naturalize, we accept you as a Malawian, we protect you, you ask for protection, then you come and you hit us behind our backs. Now, when you were increasing your prices, did you consult us? Did you warn us? Did you inform us? Then because of taking measures to protect the consumers, the local people, you are calling my PS, you are calling me, you are calling directors. Why didn't you consult us before going crazy with your prices? You thought you were clever and smart. This we're not reversing. Whether your companies, your factories will crash, as long as we protect the consumer, the local Malawians whom you're exploiting, we will not reverse this until we have seen that there's some sense in your heads. You did that with the previous government, I know for sure, but not this one. Not the Wakwelera government. If you thought you'd bring down this Chakwera government in favor of those that entertain your unethical practices, be ready to be brought down yourself. And we'll do that nicely. This is just the beginning of the beginning. By the way, I'm an engineer. Most prayers in the construction industry, mwafunse, my journalists, mwafunse, ask Malaysian engineers, they prefer Zambian cement than our locally produced cement. That's a fact. That is a fact. Construction industry. I remember the time we had this BSCC Engineers Day, National Construction Engineers World Day. There were several people displaying their products, and Honorable Buhala asked a question to one of the producers of cement. The setting, oh sorry, that's too technical now. The setting, technical questions, you know. So most people in the construction industry prefer Zambian cement than to our locally produced cement for many reasons in terms of consistency, quality, and strength. Samabange protect is indoti zikonongaso ziluzina no. Let me get to the Ilovo tender, the last one item on tonight's agenda. I would like to encourage Malawians to take part in the tender for the resale of sugar that Ilovo recently reported in the media. The tender closes on 16th of August. This is on Saturday. It's closing. But I want to say this. Let me urge Ilovo Malawi Limited to consider the suffering Malawians go through when some of their distributors hold sugar. Ndikunena kuti ndipemphe a Ilovo akamapanga evaluation yawo and akamapanga award matenda the successful bidders aganizire amalawi amene amazunzika ndi ma distributors amene amapanga hold sugar amene amabisa sugar. I'm not sure, I didn't see the tender document yawo because sometimes it's always good, like in construction, litigation issues or you'll be disqualified. Now, if you contract now you didn't execute them as per the contract agreement, you'll be disqualified. I'm not sure if the tender included those clauses in their document that protects the consumers. Because I'll say this, and I like being straight and honest. Others are perennial holders of sugar. Chaka chidi chonse also sugar. You find some distributors, omweo, damina hold sugar. So if Ilovo is serious about the welfare of their consumers and not the welfare of a few distributors, Ilovo have to really show that in the manner that they handle this tender. Again, my ministry is to blame one or the other because andamadinena kuti ya ikutrediko ena anu mlipasalale ya distributors ena chimozi kuirovo sonakoso kuli anthu ena ali masala amajana ama distributors whether true or not I know appears I don't know tikunyane bwino afterwards it apanga the people say that atusaka kukwiya ndi sugar kusowa they'll make several claims but underline this, but the way we deal with issues can either give credence to such claims or not. I repeat, the way we deal with issues can either give credence to that claim or not. Sometimes madaba muntu awubesa import permit or export permit wake ndusiku kitoto message kuti abana ima panga approve achimwene ndi banja atu is it work or is it something beyond work? Okay, all right. So the way we deal with issues can give credence to those claims. How come are you always people are justified to make such allegations because you cannot have habitual offenders getting contracts every year, and my ministry also continuing issuing licenses every time such enterprises apply for licenses. Mukuziwa kuti ife kukunduna kwathu tikuziwa kuti I want to give an example of someone here. We'll give an example. No, a journalist. They're all new faces here. Malenga, who can I give an example? Oh, Taonga Sabola. Atonga Sabola. Every time I'm a bisa sugar, I mean, but I'm apply for license, we issue licenses with no conditions, no warnings. Now, if people blame good, I would trade if we can't blame them because we cannot have habitual offenders being issued licenses every year without any consequences. And again, you find that you know of another dealers as well. Every time there's a contract, the same people who are giving us problems of holding sugar are getting tenders. It does not make sense, but this is Malawi, maybe it makes sense. As Minister of Trade, we have taken a step. We have looked at our Business Licensing Act of 2012, and since it is being reviewed by Council Chapusa Piri here with us, we are including a clause that prohibits habitual offenders from being issued licenses for a certain number of years, depending on the offense. This Business Licensing Act soon it will go to Cabinet for approval and the like, then go to Parliament. We have inserted a clause, Kuti, non-sobisa sugar, once we have found Kuti Taseka Shopiano because of holding sugar, we will be not issuing you licenses, either for 2 years or 3 years. Because but not with this government. I would like to tell Malawians that this is an assurance to you Malawians. I would like to tell Malawians that if the bids of habitual holders of sugar are successful and they start engaging in their usual acts, we will no longer go to their shops and close the shops. The Chakwera-led government will be left with no option but to flood the market with sugar from Brazil and India or elsewhere, which is cheaper. That's the stand the Minister of Trade has taken. The good thing, we have got Salima Sugar Company, sugar Brazil, India, and we can go Amakara open the vitamin A. We can bring the sugar, work with Salima Sugar Company, and fortify it with vitamin A and distribute through Salima Sugar Company. Fair and nice. That's how we deal with this issue once and for all. So it's not a warning. I'm just telling you in advance. So if those who hold sugar, habitual offenders, they happen to in a contract about by Ilova, and it has to hold sugar. We will not negotiate. Enough is enough. We'll import sugar to the sugar company from Ilovo. It's our company from Brazil. It's much cheaper. Much cheaper. Countries like Mauritius, amapanga sugar. Sugar oja, amagulisa kuina, ndikuoda ku Brazil, for use in Mauritius. Amakro cheaper than our ujaso. That's how cheap Brazilian sugar is. Mauritius, maybe a small percentage of sugar, the rest of the sugar they produce, amagulisa gunja. Meaning we do Brazil, no cheaper sugar mene. So we'll be with an option, but import from elsewhere. And it's not a warning. We don't go in advance for the sake of protecting the local producers. There'll be people, my company jobs but not at the expense of the local people in the villages who have to buy sugar at 8,000 No. Just because someone is holding sugar. On the same note, and this one, I'll say it with emphasis, without fear of contradiction, and without any iota of regret. There is one distributor of sugar by the name of Simama, who has taken me personally to court as a minister, not the ministry. We closed the shop at A24 for various reasons. One of them being that I found him selling sugar at 2 a.m., we found 17 trucks. Where's Chivati Gondwe? Is he here? From Zodiac. I don't know what he came on the site. I told him don't write an article because some distributors are claiming I'm coming after them. You see, ukamaja maungu, pompo ujaso nyemba, mbatata, umadzimbidwa eti. Umadzimbidwa chonjo. I don't know ntumbuka kuti kutumba. I don't know what's kutumba in Chichewa. Kuzimbidwa eti? Kuzimbidwa? Kuzimbidwa eti? Kutumba. Now, you can't say kuti can I prophesy? Ine ndidzimbidwa ine. Ukuja maungu, batata, nyemba. Can I prophesy? Can I go deeper? Ndidzimbidwa ine. It's straightforward guy. Uzimbidwa bi. Nikumbenge ine, nikumbenge. Ukuteta. Now, you are holding sugar. Ukubisa sugar. Then you're telling people Mumba is coming after me. So when Gawugwida was in Naguti, Maona is fighting me. Play those games with others, not with me. Please, try others, not me. Again, my officers got hold of his truck, which was suspected of being used to hold and smuggle sugar in Karonga. We've got all details. He's been claiming all over that the Minister of Trade is fighting him. My brother here, Osako Munde, was summoned at Simama's office in Karonga, Nunamangati, Osako, by one of the sons. Your friend Mumba is fighting us. Hey, brother, and that's true. Not only him, several friends of mine whom they know that I'm close to them. I want to say this. Mera also, anapangapanisha simama umayo simso oil for holding newspapers. Is that Mumba? Is that Mumba? Or someone will say, Kaya just fighting someone. This nonsense must stop. I want to tell people with money, you can get around other people with your money, not me. I'm talking to everyone. Those who believe that their worth is their fortress. My fortress is Mount Zion. We have full records of the number of times we have found this particular distributor on the wrong side of the law and their shops closed. Not once, twice, 3 times, several times.